Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on My Little Pony 1986 film review. Now, as you know, before the whole 2010 My Little Pony cartoon, we had the 1980s one. And of course, much like G.I. Joe and Transformers, we would get My Little Pony the movie. And of course, the movie would basically have a sequel in a sort of 10-part episode from the TV series known as End of Fluttervary. So the premise of the film is meant to feature the My Little Ponies having to deal with Rika and Draggle, who are basically two evil witch sisters, as well as their mother, Hydia, in from basically finding a way to stop the Smooths, as well as trying to prevent them from causing any more harm. So of course we kind of see how it's going to have the plot with them trying to save their home, trying to save their sort of family, and we kind of see how there's going to be other plots in the story, like one of which having Spike, as well as another character called Lickily Split, in basically getting help from the sort of Groddle King and his people, and we kind of see how they kind of try to get the help from the Flutter Ponies and trying to save the day. I think the problem with the movie is that it's kind of clear it was done as a promotional material, kind of throwing in new characters in as a kind of promotional tool. But I think for the most part, I think the film isn't as bad as what I think it is. I think what makes the Smooths a kind of interesting villain, it kind of has a feel to a Lovecraftian horror, kind of like the Shoggoth. And I think when you do have, Rika and as well as Draggle trying to take an ingredient from a plant, it does remind me a bit of a H.P. Lovecraft-inspired monster. And I think for the rest of the movie, I think there was an intention initially to make it a kind of episode for the TV series, which later got remodeled as a film. And for the most part, it's also kind of clear that Megan, Danny, as well as their sister, are kind of thrown in to be the human companions. Like, I can kind of see where the 2010 cartoon pretty much dropped them, and I think the reason why I think having Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and the others work as a sort of team made sense. It kind of had the Sailor Moon, basically Power Rangers-esque story. The five of them trying to stop a dangerous threat, or trying to work together as a team to help deal with the problem. I think the problem with adding too many of the characters in, even back to the show, is that it kind of takes away what I think building a team, a unit, and a story works, because I think you want to kind of know who the team are. You want more time to kind of see who the characters are, what the personal problems are. And I know, when you kind of had Friendship is Magic, I know when they did their 5th season, I know they did bring back the Smooths, but kind of having it as a totally different character. That one character from that series, Discord brings as a guest, and of course isn't meant to be a kind of Lovecraftian horror. Instead, a giant kind of boogerish-like creature. And I kind of give the film credit. It is at least trying to do something. It's kind of clear it was just kind of a pointless film that had no reason to be made. And I can kind of see where Hasbro were trying to go big with the movie, and I think the movie itself has been parodied a number of times. The same with the Care Bears, by Our Real Monsters, basically The Simpsons, also basically as well Alvin and the Chipmunks, when they had that Nightmare on Elm Street episode. It was clear the movie was just meant to be mocked for being over-the-top cutesy, And I can kind of see where, yeah, it was clear Hasbro really made a fool's errand. But I think this film also does deserve a thumbs in the middle. Well, it's an okay-ish film. It's just clear it has no real plot. The stakes aren't risen too high. And it's meant to be an over-the-top cutesy plot, with just the characters kind of having their own adventure with nothing really big, menacing, or tough. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.